So it's just after 7 a.m. Monday morning. We are going to do some work on the CFG Industries H15R 1.5 ton mini excavator. Today's project is upgrading from this manual fixed thumb to a hydraulic thumb. So it's pretty straightforward. Basically what you're going to need is a 32 millimeter wrench, a 34 millimeter wrench. That's for the hardware, for the thumb and the brackets, and then a couple of crescent wrenches for your hydraulic lines. So I bought this thumb package. It was one of the better ones. Serrated teeth on it, reinforcements. Comes with the proper L bracket for my machine, which is the 3-hole, and the lines. But what you'll notice is we're going from an M16 to an M14, and you have to pick up a set of these adapters. They're about 15 bucks. It's male to male, M16 to M14. So you'll need to do those for the install as well. So we're gonna get started here by removing that bolt right there and that bolt right there and getting this manual thumb out of the way. And that's a 34 millimeter bolt, or sorry, nut on that side, and 32 millimeter bolt head on this side. So that's what I'm going to use those two big wrenches for that I bought last year and was wondering what I was ever going to use them for. Well, I knew I'd need them, I just didn't know what for at the time, but yeah. All right, let's get that manual thumb removed. Well, it appears the hardware on the manual thumb is different than the stuff with the hydraulic thumb, so I got out the big wrench. This one's actually a 36, and this one's a 32, like I originally said. And we can't forget the grease, because they didn't send us greasable pins with this, so we're going to manually grease them until we can get those ordered and upgraded. So we've got the manual thumb removed. That was easy enough with 2 bolts. Got that over here. There's the hardware. I'm probably going to reuse that shorter bolt with those 2. Since it's a 3-hole, I might as well put all 3 bolts through it. Alright, let's start bolting up the hydraulic thumb. So I just noticed that two of the bolts are actually, they have Zerks on them, so we can grease these. So it's only going to be that one that's going to need to be manually greased. And then I think that's it, actually. Perfect. Okay, so we have the thumb mounted. I haven't tightened everything down yet. But what you want to make sure is that your hydraulic cylinder, you want these curling up towards the top of the boom. That's for where you're running your hydraulic lines to your hydraulic connect up here. So you just want to make sure that if they're pointed down, just spin the cylinder around and get them pointed up in the right direction. So we got that all tightened down. Next thing, you want to remove the caps off of both of the hydraulic lines on here. And then we're going to remove these caps here. You're going to have to put 2 crescent wrenches on it. Remove that. And then we're going to put our adapter fittings in. So we've got those fittings removed and the end caps, and we have the M16 to M14 that are just going to thread right in there, and then our hydraulic lines will connect to the other side and down to our hydraulic ram. Simple enough. We've got those installed on either side. And now we're just going to unscrew these end caps off of our hydraulic lines and get those screwed in. So we've got those hydraulic lines plumbed in, going down to our hydraulic cylinder, and we got the other side done. It's all tightened up and snugged in. So these cables are flopping around, so I like a clean look. So what I like to do is just grab some zip straps, and we're going to tether that cable or that hydraulic hose to that, and we're going to do the same thing on this side over here just to stop those from flapping around. So now we got that cleaned up. That looks much better, and those hoses won't be flapping around when I'm operating the boom. Now we're going to add a little bit of hydraulic fluid because we just added a new cylinder and new lines that need to be filled. So we're going to come over here, we're going to pop the hydraulic tank fill lid off, and I went and grabbed some anti-wear hydraulic oil, just the stuff from Canadian Tire. I think it was 39 bucks for a gallon. You want to get the all-wear ISO 46. That's what was swapped into this machine, so that's what we're going to keep running. And we got a funnel with a filter in the bottom, just an extra precaution. So we're going to go ahead and put another, say, 10 ounces in it, and then we're going to bring this thing to life, cycle the hydraulic system, and see what happens. Alright, fluids are topped up. Let's bring this thing to life. Let her warm up for a second, and I'll get this stuff out of the way, and we'll cycle the hydraulics and get the air out of the lines that we just installed, and then check our fluid levels again. Alright, now don't forget to hit your greasable pins with some marine quality grease, waterproof, good for this. The thing will be getting wet and stored outside, so might as well go with the marine grease. Well, unfortunately, I shut my screen off and my continuous video stopped, so this is the last little bit. We just greased up those zerks, and turn up the idle a bit, and we've got a hydraulic thumb. Did that in what, an hour? Not even? Right on, folks. Stay tuned for my next upgrades. Have a beautiful day. God bless you all.